So, how does it all work again?
Well, it's mostly through science, but maybe there's a little bit of magic involved. Who knows?
You should.
And so you just stick these animals in the machine and it just mashes them together into monsters?
Pretty much. It's kind of similar to how we made new Pokemon back in the day.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You could stick anything in there and you get a brand new Pokemon. You could do a horse and an active fire,
Ponyta.
a bee and a power drill,
Beedrill.
oh, a snake and a bag of rocks,
Onyx.
a Pokeball filled with homemade explosives,
Oh, Voltorb.
ooh, or a battery and a mouse. Oh,
Pikachu, give me a hard one.
I mean, really anything.
Whoa, neato. What have you made recently?
Well, my latest creation is a combination of a clock with a crab. I call him Clock-a-Crab.
Oh, good name.
Oh, and I also recently did a stop sign fused with an armadillo. I call him Craig.
That's still better than the whole Mon thing that they tried to do in Digimon.
Hey, wait, did you make that rat with the two butts that takes over the break room and yells insults at people?
Oh, you mean Rat-Ass-Ass? Yes, quite possibly. You know, I have really lost track of what I've made. It's been so boring working here, mostly because I don't actually work here.
Maybe GameCorp could sell the monsters you make? I mean, what kid wouldn't want their own Pokemon?
Oh, no. My creations are far too naturally violent. They lash out at the world because deep down, they know they are not supposed to exist.
Big mood.
Jesus. Hey, JB, where's lunch? Did you forget to order?
No, I called it in. I think. It should be here.
Podcasters!
Oh,
Yes, man.
Come on, you're the worst.
Yes, man, you fucking suck,
You
dude.
suck.
If I
Oh
had
my
a gun with
God.
one bullet, I'd give the gun to Hitler and have him shoot Yes-Men.
Why is Hitler here?
No, it's hypothetical.
Yes, well, I don't like you either. But there's a man in sunglasses with a briefcase asking questions around the building. He says his sources tell him someone in this building purchased a red dragon. Do you scheming podcasters know anything about this?
A what?
I said yes, but I don't like you.
Nobody here bought anything, and your accusations are actually quite offensive, so we are very busy, Yesman. Not that you know anything about that, so I'm just gonna slam this door on your face, okay? Goodbye, asshole.
Nice.
Hey, you good, Professor?
Oh, yes, I am good. Right now, totally, but I probably will be very bad later once the CIA finds me and hooks a car battery up to my Pokeballs.
Pokeballs.
The CIA?
You're right. It's probably Interpol. I mean, they're even worse with the CBT. Actually, all three of them letter agencies are really into that. Anyways, where is my bug-out bag? I gotta get out of here.
Yo, whoa, hold up. What are you talking about?
Yasmin, he just said there was a guy in sunglasses looking for somebody who bought a red dragon.
Yeah, so? Oh, no.
Oh my god, did you buy a real-ass dragon? Like off the black market or something?
No, don't be silly. You buy them from the red market. And it's not actually a dragon, it's just an egg.
No way. You can't buy it. Oh my god, that is a big old dragon egg.
Professor L, is that an actual dragon in that thing?
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Unless... Do chickens grow to be 20 feet tall in this dimension?
Not normally.
Then I am totally boned. You guys gotta help me.
How?
Just hold on to this egg for me until the agent guy leaves.
No way, dude.
Oh,
No.
come on. Look at me. I'll be a suspect numero uno. I've already got a rap sheet for crimes against nature. They'll probably already have the building surrounded. You gotta hide it under your desk. I'll come collect it at the end of the day.
I mean, it is kind of badass. A real-life dragon egg?
No, we got work to do. We can't be babysitting some illegal mythical creature.
Oh, okay. Well, whoops. Oh, it's already rolling to you. My hand slipped. What you gonna do?
Whoa, hey, careful, dude. You could have cracked it. What are you doing?
Oh, that reminds me, the most important part. Make sure you keep that warm, or else it will actually hatch. And newborns, let me tell you, they are just vicious, mindless machines of murder and arson.
That's not very cool.
Well, I'm off the grid now. Be sure to pee on your phones. The high alkaline will disrupt the GPS tracking.
Yeah, not gonna do that.
Roger, I'm on it.
All right, good luck, boys. See you in Canada.
Great. And just like that, we're illegal animal smugglers.
Ooh, smugglers. Now that's badass.
No, it's not. It's... You're sitting on the egg.
What? Oh, do I get to be Khaleesi?
Hello and welcome to GameCorp, the best damn podcast this side of the video game dimension. We are your hosts. I'm Cowboy.
I'm Mr. Warehouse himself, Jake Bezos.
Hey, and I'm JB, a.k.a.
Jake Bezos. Oh, no, there's two of us. 2 bajillion billionaires in one room. Are you kidding me?
How you gonna keep it straight?
I thought
don't
he
know.
killed the other Highlanders.
When you kill one, you take the other's money, and then you start a shipping industry. Industry? Amazon. Anyway, in today's episode, we're traveling back to a better time. A time where fantasy movies had heart and action heroes got all the babes. A time where all the cool stuff we love today was persecuted by insecure jocks with nothing to lose and a destructive wave of the satanic panic that ruined D&D and all the things fantasy for an entire nation happened. That's right, it's the late 80s and 90s. Today is a celebration of the best parts of fantasy nerdism through a discussion of totally rad retro fantasy beat-em-ups. And we're talking a lot of games today. How many games did we play? We played so many. And a lot of really cool gems, too. Everybody knows Golden Axe, right? But have you heard of the King of Dragons? Maybe not. But you're going to hear about it today.
And don't forget my favorite, D&D. Yes, there's an actual fantasy beat-em-up D&D game in there.
Hell yeah.
Which I am a huge, huge D&D nerd and Dungeon Master for 5 years, non-sexual Dungeon Master.
The non-Terry Dungeon Master, yeah. We get it.
Speaking of kinky stuff, I want to bring up something that Cowboy asked us a little while ago.
What?
And I know he wanted to keep it private, but I'm going to throw it out to you guys, and let's see what the listeners want. So recently, Cowboy brought up an idea where we do an entire episode naked. And
You did do that.
I don't know where it came from or why, but he was like, hey, guys, do you just want to do like a whole episode like naked? And we're like, it's a podcast. They would never tell. But he'd be like, yeah, but you could tell in the voice. They could tell you're naked through your voice.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it could be fun. Like, we just say we're naked and we're not actually. And he goes, no, you would have to actually be naked. And I'm like, but why, though? And he goes, well, they'd know. They'd know you're not naked. I'm like, how?
They can hear it in the body language. You know, like the clothes also change, like how the sound reflects. Like, you can just tell. You've never, like, called somebody on the phone, like, 6 a.m. or 8 a.m., and you're like, hey, what are you? Oh, you're naked right now. I can hear it in your voice. You're naked. You can hear the nakedness.
I mean, I know HR wouldn't have an issue with it, but I feel like getting naked at work and staring into each other's eyes while we talk.
It's the logistics of it. And, yeah.
Everybody's gotten naked at work.
We would have to look into each other's eyes. We would have to slowly embrace, brush each other's hair. There's a whole lot that's involved.
I feel like it's more for you than the listener, if I'm being honest.
A little bit.
I am a giver. This is definitely for the listener. Okay. You guys have never, like, what about when you go to the bathroom? You get naked in there.
Nah. Well, that's a lot to unpack. But all right, listener, let us know in our comments, DMs, gross fan mail, anything that you want. Hit
Privately
us up.
DM me.
Join our Discord and tell us if you guys want us to do a naked episode. You let us know. If everyone says yes, I don't know, man. I don't know. But here's another idea that's less offensive.
It's not offensive.
I was kind of mulling this idea over. What do you think about if we like live streamed a listener question episode?
A naked listener question episode?
Nope,
just
not
with
that.
Just with the clothes on.
That
But
could
hey,
be
guys,
fun.
if you would like to see that, also let us know, because I don't know, man. We're trying to always figure out new ways to talk to you guys and reach you and touch you and comb your hair and embrace you. And
So it is a naked listener questions episode.
it doesn't have to be. It's clothing optional.
The listeners can be naked.
The listeners could be naked.
you won't be on
you
camera.
could be naked.
We won't ever see you. You could be naked and ask us questions. That's all we're saying.
Yeah,
That's all we're saying.
naked
But anyway,
listener questions.
we're always
Got
trying to
it.
find new ways to talk to you guys, and I know you can live stream on stuff like that, on like YouTube and whatever the cool kids use these days. If you guys actually want to see our faces and answer questions, let us know. We're up to doing stuff like that, but we want to know that you guys are interested in it. So let us know.
Is that a boomerang?
What the hell was that?
Why is this a bit?
my God.
Why is this something that happens?
I don't know. I'm going up to the window. Hey! Oh, there's some guy out and he's like wearing a tunic. And he's giving me the...
Tunic.
Yeah, he's giving me the bird. Hey, fuck you too, buddy!
He's got a bird?
Yeah!
Oh my God, he has a bomb.
Oh,
He has a bomb. Get away.
He has a bomb. Get away from the window. All right. Oh, there's something on the boomerang. This is interesting. It's, corporate mandated trivia. They just could have sent it through the tube. Anyway, all right. You guys ready to play some trivia?
I am ready.
Cool. All right. Looks like today's trivia is brought to you by Nasty Boys Gamer Wipes. For when the rate is at 7, but you had enchiladas at 6. What the fuck?
That's cool.
All right. Today's trivia is weapon trivia. Looks like I'm going to be asking questions about not important cool weapons. We all know the Master Swords, the Buster Swords, the Mega Busters, other weapons that start with busters.
A lot of
yeah,
busters.
things like that. But
Bussin'.
video games are full, absolutely full of unique, weird, and awkward weapons. And today's trivia is all about the weird stuff. All right, let's get some sounds for your buzzers.
I will be Grape Lady.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Bing Bong.
Okay. Question number 1. This is actually a little softball to get some points on the board, so somebody wins this one tonight. The weapon of choice for little siblings and sore losers worldwide. This says your weapon of mass destruction will seek out anyone with the upper hand and show them why it does not pay. JB.
That would be the blue shell.
Ding, ding, ding. 1
Good
point
job.
for JB. We got points on the board, baby, but we have a lot to go.
Yeah. Now the blue shell's in my item roster because you took the lead. Good luck, JB.
Ooh. Oh, shit.
Yeah, you fucked up.
I fell right into your trap card.
Trap card.
Question number 2. This terrifying weapon is wielded by a manic spelunker who, while in his search for subterranean treasures, will plunge this weapon of choice into any nearby monster and watch as they slowly inflate until they explode.
Bing bong.
Ooh, cowboy.
Yes. That is Dig Dug. Baby Dig Dug. Wait, his weapon. Oh,
What's his weapon?
It's this fetish inflation. What's his weapon? It's a bicycle pump.
Ah, God.
A pump.
It's a pump. It's a pump. You
Okay,
got it.
okay,
Ding, ding,
okay.
ding, ding, ding. All right. Point for cowboy. Point for cowboy. For the rest of these questions, I'm going to give you a point if you can guess the game also.
Ooh.
2 points
Oh, okay.
per question for the rest of this.
Nice.
Question the third. Actually, I shouldn't have even said that. You know what? Not this one. Not this one. No. Starting the next question because it's too easy. All right. 1 point for this one only. All right. Isaac Clarke has his fair share of brutal weaponry to deal with an ever-increasing horde of necromorphs. But one weapon in his arsenal stands out, both lethal and hilarious. This amazing weapon is sure to take out necromorphs with a pew-pew and a bang.
This game is too scary for me, so go ahead, cowboy.
Bing bong. Yeah.
Come on, get it right. It's all your credit as a gamer is on the line.
Can you use it in a sentence?
No, I already did.
Is it a sticky rocket gun? Is it a rocket gun? Does it shoot rockets?
Let's look to the board.
Oh,
Sorry, that is incorrect. Do you want to guess, JB? Come on, man.
Sure. A lollipop.
Yes, that's it. No. The correct answer is the hand cannon. It's a foam finger. You actually earn this weapon if you beat it on like its hardest setting without dying. What? Yeah, it's a joke weapon. It's a literal foam finger. And as you run around shooting, he goes, pew, pew, bang, bang. And
wait, which Dead Space?
Dead Space 2.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. All right. From here on out, you got to guess. So 1 point for the game, 1 point for the weapon. Question the next. One weapon on this list is all the rave with open world gun-toting maniacs. One pull of the trigger will send a shockwave of early 2010s EDM towards unsuspecting posers and wub them off of the face of the earth. As a bonus, all innocent bystanders in the area will uncontrollably dance like they're one glow stick away from cardiac arrest, JB.
Oh, fuck. I have like 3 games in my head. I'm going to start with the game. I'm going to say Fortnite. No, that's a grenade. Okay, so I got that wrong. But the gun is going to be the dubstep gun.
Ooh, ding, ding, ding. 1 point for JB. That's absolutely right. It is the dubstep gun. And you know what, Cowboy? You can get a point if you can guess the game. It has to be the specific game.
Nailed the name of the gun without knowing what it...
I knew the gun, but I thought it was from
It's a very
Fortnite,
infamous gun,
but it's a grenade in Fortnite. It is a very famous gun.
The dubstep
And I know
gun.
where it's from now.
It's from... It's from Super Mario Sunshine.
No,
an
it's from the
alternate
game where you can use a dildo as a weapon.
Oh, okay. It's from Super Mario 2, not Sunshine.
Yep. There you
Right.
go.
Yeah,
Saints
you
Row
got
2.
it.
Saints
You
Row.
got it. Actually, no. Saints Row 4. But 1
okay.
point for JB. Yeah.
Damn it.
Let's see.
Yeah,
That's,
that was the other game. I was between that and Fortnite, and I was like, well, I know it makes them dance in Fortnite, and I didn't know it made them dance in... That's all right.
I'm sure there's a mod for Sunshine somewhere.
There's a mod for everything.
There's a mod.
So what's
for
that make? 2-1, JB? I don't keep track. I just
yes.
ask the questions. All right. Yeah. Question the next after that one. Seemingly ripped straight off of a carriage, this unwieldy circle of vile blood-slaying savagery was drug all the way to Canehurst Castle by a group of eccentric church boys with the sole mission of beating down would-be vampires with a fucking wagon wheel.
Bing
What?
Bong?
Cowboy.
Bloodborne? Game?
Oh, 1 point for the game!
Yes.
Do you know the name of the weapon?
The Chakram?
No, sir. All right, JB, throw it out into the ether if you can guess the name of this weapon.
The Fast and Furious.
The Logarius wheel, if I pronounce Logarius correct. Yeah. It's a literal wagon wheel, the weapon. So, Souls games always have weird weapons or joke weapons, and this is kind of like a joke weapon. It's a literal wagon wheel you beat people with.
See, I actually knew it, but I would never know the name because I'm not a lore hound. So I was like, yeah, hey, the wagon wheel. And I was like, he's going to hit me if I say the wagon wheel.
I've never played it. I was going to say the wagon wheel until you said
close.
wagon wheel.
It's close. Okay. We have 2 questions left, and it sounds like, it's all tied up. The next 2 are pretty hard. Maybe? I don't know. Depending.
All of them are hard because we're idiots.
A certain unnamed video game franchise about rising up against the pressures on a certain red planet contains a gem of an Easter egg in the form of a clearly uncomfortable farting unicorn.
Bing Bong.
Cowboy.
It's Red Faction.
Which one?
Second one.
First one.
No, I don't know the chronology of the Red Faction games. You're putting me. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me right
second
now?
one, Jay.
Why are you doing this to me? Hold on. Why are you doing this to me? Okay, guess what the weapon is, Cowboy. Why are you doing this?
The Poopacorn.
You know, that is so close. That is so close.
It is.
The shitcorn.
You 100% got the chronology of it wrong, though. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
0 points for Cowboy.
0 points. 0 points. JB?
I said the shitcorn. And
No.
Red Faction 1 is what I said.
No. It's all so close, though, but so incorrect. The correct game is Red Faction Armageddon, which is like the 4th or 5th or something, whatever the Google search told me.
Right. They jumped the
5th one?
unicorn.
That's when they jumped the unicorn. Yeah.
And it's Mr. Toots.
Oh.
It's a beautiful little unicorn that you hold, and it looks very uncomfortable, and it shoots laser beams out of its butt.
If
And
you
people
gave
blow
me
up
that,
into rainbows.
if you gave me that animal and asked me to name it, I would have named it Mr. Toots. I guess,
Then you
yeah.
should have let me finish the question with all of the hints. Final question.
I had to get ahead of JB.
Is it still 2-2?
It's 2-2.
Okay. Throw a chunk of bread in a glass of milk. Put it in a cupboard and forget about it for 10 years. What do you get? Well, you get this amazing piece of weaponry that is thrown like a grenade, except on impact, the bread comes to life and chomps down its target. As if iconic team shooters weren't hard enough. JB.
JB. Team Fortress 2?
Oh, that's a point, and you take it. You take trivia. But what is the name? Oh, my God. Let's see if we can just tie it up and just go all night with the trivia. What's the name of the weapon?
Bread grenade. no.
Cowboy.
It is.
Try to tie it up and go into overtime.
Can I get its origin of usage?
Team Fortress 2, and it's a special grenade.
Can you use it in a question?
Throw a chunk of bread in a glass of milk and put it in the cupboard for 10 years. What you get? You get this amazing piece of weaponry thrown like a grenade, and milk and bread comes to life and eats them.
Okay, it's the soggy bread grenade. It's the soggy bread.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is incorrect. JB takes Turkins tonight's trivia segment. Pew, pew, pew.
This is the first one I've
What
won
was it?
since season 1.
This is a special occasion. It's mutated milk. It was called mutated milk. Mutated milk. All right, JB. This marks a special occasion, and your prize
Hell yeah.
tonight, because you won your first trivia of season 2, you receive 1 free hand-to-hand knife lesson with Yesman. Enjoy.
No. But
Enjoy, and that's trivia. Let's give it up for JP.
Do-do-do.
You're gonna enjoy that. You're gonna enjoy that prize, buddy.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Bam.
All right, well, while I try to hide this coupon, why don't we move on to the audience question? The audience question is brought to you by Magic Eye. Ooh. Do you have a lot of time on your hands and want to feel superior to other people? Yeah. Well, do I have the perfect product for you? No, it's not a Dark Souls game, Jake. No, it's not reading. And no, it's definitely not watching boring old movies that nobody actually likes and just say they do in order to sound cultured. No, it's Magic Eye. The hit puzzle book that flew onto the scene in the 90s and then disappeared into the ether as quickly as it came. If you were one of the ones crazy enough to force your eyes into doing things that probably caused irreparable harm and see a picture like a boat or whatever, you could lord it over your entire family and friend group. If you have no discernible skills and want to feel like an elitist, this is probably your best bet. Magic Eye. Well, look at that.
I was so bad at those. I could never do them.
I could do them. That's why I chose this ad.
I actually won a civil suit against them for having bad eyesight.
Oh. Right. I do wear glasses now, and I didn't before then.
I crossed them so hard I broke a retina. Yeah.
Yeah. I crossed them so hard they flipped.
Yeah.
Now my left is on my right, my right is on my left.
I crossed them so hard I turned into a Ghostbusters joke. Ghostbusters 1 across the streams.
They actually 360'd all the way around. They 360'd and walked out the room.
But now they're like rotated like a yo-yo string.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard.
They're loose now. There's no limits.
They're so soggy and droopy.
All right. Well, last episode we asked you which game had the most fun, fluid, and fucking rad combat of all time.
Hell
and we
yeah.
got a ton of responses. We're gonna go to Discord, and you may notice a little bit of difference with the names. We got Blunt Life, aka Tom from Bad Elephant Gaming, says Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which sounds like a made-up game, if I'm being honest. Revengeance?
Revenge.
No,
Not
it's
vengeance,
a beat 'em up.
not revenge. Revengeance.
It's Revengeance.
Revengeance?
Yeah, it's a beat 'em up
How
game
is that
like
a thing?
Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, but you play as
Yeah.
as the crybaby from the second game.
The sexy
Revengeance.
soft boy from the Metal Gear nobody likes.
You're all
And-
just making things up right now. I can tell. You can't trick me. You can't
He's
trick
got a
me.
sword and an overbearing girlfriend.
You've been playing the game too long.
And he continues that Metal Gear Solid Revengeance's fighting style is one of the most surprising combat systems I've ever encountered. It's not just that it's fast-paced, it's that it encourages experimentation and improvisation in bashing your opponents until you can trigger the mode that lets you carve up your enemies into tiny little meat pieces in slow motion. It's like watching a butcher learn jazz. Perfectly timing a shot that allows you to rip out an enemy's spine in one elegant swing is something you just need to experience. Make JB read all of that. Well, I'll tell you what, baby, you don't gotta make me do nothing.
I have nothing to add to that.
We also got the Nutrageous King, aka Metroid Mike, who says Transformers Devastation, which now I know for sure you all are just punking me. That's not a game that exists in this universe.
It is, but I
Just
wish I
making
knew
up
more
games.
about it, man. There was a small stretch of really cool Transformers games, like legit
There was.
kick-ass Transformers games. that I never
Something
played.
on Cybertron. I think I played the demo of, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of fucking badass."
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we also got the hot yellow bullet, a.k.a. Riku Nova, who says Doom Eternal and Minecraft 1.8 combat.
I don't know.
I can't tell the difference.
It plays the same for me.
Corbett wants you to tell the difference between these two pictures. They're the same picture.
Same picture.
You know, when BFG Division starts kicking up and you hear that beautiful grindcore and you're just mining that cobblestone.
I'm pretty sure Trent Reznor did both.
The crazy thing is I think Doom Eternal and Minecraft are like polar opposites.
Really are.
One is like metal and one is like do 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 do, and it's like the combat is like ooh.
Yeah, it's like clock noises.
It's so opposite. Like I love it.
But the same.
I love it.
Apparently the same.
Opposite. They loop back around and touch each other, and that's what happens.
All right, so you may have noticed the names were different. If you want a sweet gas station-based nickname,
hell yeah.
They're not going to know what that means, but he's right.
Yep, they're all gas station-based nicknames, and you can get one too if you just hop into our Discord. Links in the description, baby.
Yep, and ask Metroidal Michael for your gas station nickname.
Hell yeah. AKA the Nutrageous King.
Nutrageous King.
Moving on to Twitter, we got 1H1D who comes in hot with a few choices, actually. He brings in God of War, the OG.
That's
Vanquish. Sorry. I didn't pause for the first one, so then I paused for the second one to give you room, and nobody said anything. It threw me off a little bit. We also got Sifu.
Sifu, okay.
Yeah, we played Sifu. No, not Sifu.
I recognize that one.
And also the Batman Arkham series.
I get it, dude. That whole series kind of defined the like the rhythm beat 'em up kind of thing that like games like Spider-Man use today.
Yeah,
indeed.
Which you can kind of blame, since a lot of people think that's like old hat, that whole system.
It's fun to me.
I think it's
real to me, damn it.
Then we got the Big Drink Energy podcast who says Smash Bros. Melee. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We also got Gwavith from Bad Drink Energy podcast, their co-host on there, says the original pre-launch of Realm Royale was one of the best shooting games until they ruined it by trying to make it more like Fortnite.
Huh. Never played.
I did. I played early Realm Royale, and it was fun.
Yep. You, me, and your brother. We played it for quite a while, actually.
And I like the aesthetic, because not a lot of stuff like that is going to go medieval. Like a medieval battle royale shooter.
Yeah, medieval cartoony battle royale. Yeah, it was fun. We also got, I'm going to butcher this name. We got Will Adeshina, who says Devil May Cry and Bayonetta are great.
Fuck yeah.
But the king might be, oh, Jesus, you're just making fun of me at this point. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
Come on.
That's not a real game. Revengeance. No AAA company is going to name their game Revengeance.
Oh, Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima.
Hideo Kojima. He would name it Hideo Kojima-san. He would name it. Metal Gear Revenge. What's the name? I don't know. It's a real game.
And then last but not least, we got at the risk of sounding like a broken record, Friday Night Gamecast says God of War 2018 is unrivaled for third-person action.
It's so good. Seriously, though, that game is so good.
I haven't played it.
And I'm so excited for the new one coming out.
Yeah, I got to give that game a shot.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, intern, did you get all of that? Yeah. Just file it under ideas for future episodes. No, I know it's empty. That's why we're doing this, right? That's why we steal the ideas from other. Anyway, this episode, we want to know, for your favorite genre of games, what is the most important? The OG, the GOAT, you get it. You can answer our question on Spotify, Twitter, Discord, or by just yelling it into the void. I wouldn't recommend the void, though.
Wait. What's the best and then no noun?
No, it's what is the most important. You get it?
What's the most important?
The
question mark.
Okay.
For your favorite genre.
Hey guys, what's the most important?
What's the most important?
Oh, of the genre that you like. Okay,
yeah.
I'm following it. So, of your favorite gaming genre, what's the most important game in that genre?
Oh, right, game, yeah.
No, I just like what's the most important.
What's the most important?
What's the most important? The OG, the GOAT, a.k.a. the greatest of all time.
Our hard-boiled question for you is, What's important?
You know, it's important.
What's important?
My wife asked me the other day, she turns to me and she's like, I know what OG means, but what does it mean? And I go,
Whoa.
Old gangster.
and I was like, it means original gangster. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's what it means. And she's like, well, why are like teachers at my kid's school saying OG? And I'm like, well, it no
they
longer
gangster.
means that. It just means original, like it's the OG. And it made me start thinking about how that has entered common
Yes.
parlance in such a way that middle-aged white women are saying OG. And it's just like, it's
I
crazy to
can't
me.
wait until grandma say lit.
Yeah.
You'll see it in like maybe like Huggies will be like Huggies, the OG of diapers, and you're like,
Yeah.
you're the gangster of diapers.
You're the original gangster of diapers,
Ain't
huh?
nothing gangster about diapers.
Yeah, it's just so funny that it like that's what it means, but it no longer means that. Like that just blew my mind. Anyway,
What's important?
What's important?
Not sorry to interrupt, but there is someone at the door.
Someone?
Yes, he has a briefcase and sunglasses. Either deaf or possibly just wearing an earpiece.
oh god, it's the dude. Why is he here?
Oh shit, JB, hide the egg.
Okay. What's our cover story? We're three Midwesterners down on our luck. We moved out here to chase our dreams of video games.
No cover stories. Just act natural, dude.
But panicking is my natural reaction to hiding crimes.
Just relax. Pretend we're just, it's just a regular day at GameCorp. Regular day elsewhere. Yeah.
Okay. Elsewhere. Oh, JB, did you hide the egg?
Yep, all taken care of.
Okay.
Oh my DOS. He keeps pressing the button. So annoying. I'm opening the door.
Wait, no, not yet.
Hi. What can we do for you?
Cut the crap. What do you know about the red dragon being delivered here?
Sorry, we don't speak English.
Really?
Yep, not a word.
You're gonna need a better bag of tricks if you want to fool us. Our organization has some of the top tracking technology in the field. We know what, we know when, we know how, we know why, and most of all, we know where. In fact, our location tracking has been pointed into this very building, on this very floor, and even to this exact room.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good, actually.
No, cowboy.
What? It's cool. Google Maps can't even get that accurate.
I take my job very seriously. Now, which of you three was it?
Whoa. Hold up, man. Listen. I mean, we may have heard like a rumor or something, but we don't know anything about it.
Yeah, and it's certainly not hidden in this room right now.
Why would you say that?
What? Because it's not, right, guys?
So you wouldn't mind if Lucille and I take a look around?
Who's Lucille?
Oh, neat. Is that a spy drone? This guy's got the best technology.
Lucille, give me a full room scan. Every nook and cranny.
Wait. No. Look, man, we're innocent. Like, we're innocent, dude. We just work in this room. Okay?
Yeah, and we sleep on the job a lot, so if any crimes did happen to be committed in here, we were probably asleep for the whole thing. We're heavy sleepers.
Scanning complete. Target not found.
Interesting. The room's clean. Must have had bad intel.
Wait, what?
But my gut says we're close. I will find my man. Come on, Lucille, we'll scan this whole damn building if we have to. Floor by floor.
So that means we're off the hook?
Not by a long shot. My superiors have entrusted me with this mission, and I have not once failed to deliver. If I find out you three are deceiving me, you're blacklisted.
Blacklisted from what?
You know what?
But I don't know what. What are we oh, damn it.
Oh, my God. Hey, nice going, dude. I thought he was going to find it for sure, man.
Yeah, dude, I was certain we were going to have our, the CBT thing.
What does that mean?
Just cool it.
So where'd you hide it? Like the air duct or something?
Yeah, about that. So you know how panic makes you do stuff, and so I had the egg, and I was like, oh my God, where am I going to hide this? And I'm looking around, and I'm like, my hat's not big enough to put it under, and behind the door, that's too easy. So I just kind of like stuffed it in the tube.
The tube.
You mean the mail tube we used to send stuff anywhere in the building?
Yeah.
Well, where'd you send it?
Anywhere in the building.
That's an option?
I mean, keep in mind, I was panicking.
JB, the egg is going to hatch. If it's not kept warm, it's going to hatch.
I mean, sure, but hey, look on the bright side.
What?
It's someone else's problem now.
Yeah, and it'll be our problem again when it burns the building down and the CIA guy blacklists us.
Whatever that is.
Well, we could just burn that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
Well, while we place a few weird calls around the office asking for a giant red egg, let's go ahead and take a word from our sponsors. But when we return, get ready for some high fun fantasy fucking fighting games.
Welcome to GameCorp is brought to you by you. That's right, you. Your support of our absolutely crazy show is what drives us to continue putting up with upper management, crazy overtime, poor work-life balance, and no cost of living adjustment. Seriously though, the thought alone that people tune into our podcast to listen, laugh, and interact never ceases to amaze us, and we can't thank you enough for it. All that we ask in return is for you to mention our show to others and ask that they give it a try too. That, and just continue being awesome. It's a very well-known fact that Welcome to GameCorp listeners are the smartest, sexiest, and most desirable humans on the planet. You're an unstoppable force, and you can help our show become unstoppable too, just by spreading it around. The more the GameCorp community grows, the better our show can become, and that's a win-win for everyone. Once again, thank you. Now back to the show.
Once upon a time, when dragons ravished the land, and all artwork looked like totally rad heavy metal album covers, and humanity's only hope for survival lay in the hands of mostly naked men and women, and elves, and dwarves, and centaurs probably, and whoever else looked awesome in a loincloth, 3 brave podcasters dared to venture back in time, all the way to the late 80s, and into a realm of magic and mayhem to bring you today's episode. Travel with us, dear listener, as we embark on an adventure for fame, glory, and retro fantasy beat-em-ups.
Hey, you did a voice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, thanks. I've been practicing my old man. I
You lost it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, well.
All right, interns. Today, we're talking about some really awesome retro fantasy beat 'em ups starting from the late 80s into the 90s. That's right. We were trying to figure out what to do with this episode, and then we played a bunch of games. We just played a bunch, and we're like, hey, this is a cool game, and it turned into something really interesting. So we're actually just going to go probably like in chronological order because that makes sense, you know, right? And we're just going to talk about how retro fantasy beat 'em ups, that is, you know, fantasy themed brawler games, you know, the fun side scrollers. You've played them. You played Ninja Turtles and Simpsons. You know what we're talking about. We just want to highlight how it kind of started and how it evolved, at least in that time frame, because we found that, I mean, they made a lot of changes and they changed up the gimmicks and things that you did. And I mean, some of these games turned out super fun. But in order to talk about this at all, we have to go back to where it started, at least for a lot of people, because the most famous retro fantasy brawler, everybody knows the name. Even if you don't play video games, I swear you've heard of this one.
Oh, yeah.
Golden Axe.
Golden
right?
Axe. The grandpappy.
The grandpappy of the fantasy brawler, dude. It all started, let's go in the Wayback Machine to 1989. Full House was prime time, baby.
Big hair.
There's a
oh my
clock.
God.
A shoe for some reason.
Whoa!
Utensils? What's? I don't know what's normally in it.
Marty and Rick. So, okay. So, way back in the yesteryear of 1989, Sega released Golden Axe 1 for both their Sega, you know, home console systems and the arcades. And we're actually not going to talk about this one a lot because we actually didn't play this one. We're just setting the framework. But back in the day, they decided, why don't we make a beat-em-up game about cool fantasy stuff, like D&D things? Like, you know, in the 80s, it was all Dark Crystal and Conan the Barbarian stuff.
Conan O'Brien.
So Back in the Conan O'Brien days. So they created a game where you could play a dwarf, a half-naked fighter man, and a half-naked lady. And you go through the land of Uria. You beat up the bad guy, Death Adder, because he kidnapped the king and the princess, and he took the golden axe. It was a very, rudimentary game, I would like to say. It had like one combo and a jump. It did include magic attacks, one-button magic attacks, where you collected, vials, jars, mana potions to make it more powerful. And it also included like a mount system where you could ride little chicken monsters and whatever to basically beat up sprite swap or color palette swapped bad guys through a series of levels until you defeat the final guy.
Yeah, and like the magic combos and the mounts are like 90% of my memories. Like that was the good stuff. That was the gooey center.
That and the freaky sound effects. Because when people died in it, it was this blood-curdling scream. It was so out of place for like this time period. Because you'd usually hear like when people died.
Oh.
But you heard like real life when people died.
That's where my nightmares got that from.
It threw me for a loop. But this game, this Golden Axe, which I know a lot of people played or at least heard of or watched, it set the foundation for all the games to come. Which brings us to our first game that the three of us actually got to sit together and play tonight in a dream, in a game of my dreams. When it came out, it's one of my favorite games from my childhood. You may have heard of it. You may have not, because a lot of these, I don't know if people have really heard of them. First one on our list, The King of Dragons, released by Capcom in 1991 in arcades, later ported to the SNES in 1994. That's when I played it. The games are super similar, except in the arcade you can feed it money, and the Super Nintendo there's lives. But this is the first game that we all three of us sat together for some classic co-op and just beat the shit out of some orcs for a while.
Yeah, and that should be said that all these games represent co-op with friends having fun together, whether it's at the arcade, chucking in quarters, or with multiple controllers around the console. But I had never played King of Dragons, never heard of it. There were too many RPGs on the Super Nintendo to take my attention away, and I didn't have friends at the time, so, that was a wrench in the system. But I liked it.
Yeah, let's get some first impressions for the King of Dragons, especially compared to the competition and predecessor. Golden Axe. If you can compare it, because some of us haven't played it for a long time. But I can. You know what? I'll go first just to set it here. I can tell you a lot of the differences between King of Dragons and Golden Axe. So first, they actually made combat simpler. One of the first things that you notice when you play this, they took away combos. You literally swing your sword, and your sword game is strong, and you beat the shit out of anything. You just whap, 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 it's dead. Whap, whap, whap. It's just the single swings. But it also incorporated the magic system, just like this and every other game we talk about
Every other game on the list. Got to have that magic.
Yeah. But instead of collecting mana vials to power up and do more stronger attacks, it literally just takes your life away.
Right.
When you use your magic. And there's a jump button, and that's it.
Yeah, which was interesting because there was a sense of growth, but there was also a sense of regression for me, which is like you said, just one attack, no combos, you lost that. And then the desperate attack was magic. So desperate attack meaning it's usually you hit two buttons together, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's one mechanic that shares a similar theme throughout these. You'll mash a couple buttons together. You'll do a stronger version of an attack at the expense of your actual life.
Mm-hmm. And what was kind of cool was that as you leveled up the character stayed that level. So if you switched over to a different character, you could trade, and you wouldn't be at a disadvantage because you would be playing a level 16 archer or whatever it was. So that was pretty cool.
That was definitely because Golden Axe didn't really have this sense of progression from level to level. Like you were advancing plot and to higher levels, but you weren't like experience point upgrading, which is a staple of fantasy because it's so RPG.
That's right. This one is, as far as I know, because it's so close together, as far as I know, this was the first fantasy beat 'em up to hit arcades that actually included a leveling system. So you weren't just going through the levels. Your character was getting stronger. You actually got more life. And there was also even an equipment leveling system to it as well. Every time you beat a boss, you would get a new more powerful, upgraded version of whatever equipment you're carrying.
Yeah.
And it was super cool for the time too, because it would actually change. A lot of people playing RPGs wouldn't actually see their sprites change that much at this time.
Yeah.
Like the weapons would actually change, and they wouldn't only change, a lot of them would change how they attack.
Yeah.
The
Form and
wizards-
function.
Yeah, form and function. The wizard's spells would change. The archer would shoot longer. You got bigger shields, really, and I think it helped block more. I don't know, but it made me feel like it did.
Yeah, wait, wasn't there a blocking mechanic?
There
There was.
absolutely is.
Yeah.
There is also a blocking mechanic. If you press back at just the right time, like start walking backwards when an attack is about to connect, any shield-bearing class that you could play would block the attack, like full stop, which, that just wasn't a thing before the King of Dragons
Yeah.
in this genre.
And so the game was definitely like Golden Axe 1.2, maybe 1.4 for me. It was a few minor things, but if you love Golden Axe, I feel like it was like, here's another Golden Axe. It's going to feel really the same, and you're going to like it.
Only
You're gonna love it.
1.4? Only 1.4? I would say more. The graphics are better. The sound effects went from blood-curdling screams to woo every time you started a stage. Woo!
Oh, the woo.
Every time you leveled up.
We became obsessed with the woos every time. Every like major point in the game, all three of your characters just this weird woo,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a battle cry, it's not lamenting, it's just an ethereal noise from the human body. Like ooh.
It's just guys going woo.
So you got to play it and you got to hear it.
But this is why I think it was an improvement in every single way, save for the combos. Like if this game had combos, it would have been incredible. They reduced the combos, but they made it better in every other way, I believe, because it looked better. The music was awesome. The sound effects were awesome. It had 16 levels. It had tons of bosses.
Yeah.
It reused fewer bad guys, I think. Because Golden Axe, I mean, it's dated at its age. You beat up the same 3 or 4 guys.
Right, lots of recolors, yeah.
Lots of recolors.
But as a kid, you don't notice. Ooh, a
that's
new
true.
enemy.
Honestly, that's true. You see a new color and you know what's up. But
I mean, we were trained by Yoshi, right? Like, yellow Yoshi is different.
It's not
He just hits
Luigi, that's
different.
Green Mario.
He just is different. So I think it improved a lot. Like with the leveling system, the equipment, it sounds better. I thought the bosses are so much more dynamic.
That's true.
They have more moves. In this one, I mean, the final boss is even a giant red dragon. Where did we hear that before? In fact, the whole premise of this game is that you're trying to beat your way to the final red dragon boss.
And it had like this 3-piece, it was like 3 separate GIFs or whatever, 3 pieces to it that would move independently, like its body, its face.
Do you mean sprites? Did you call it GIFs?
I guess so. I'm sorry. Sprites.
You're going to say GIFs
That's the
again?
technical word. And I said GIFs.
GIFs.
It's the arcade game where you beat up GIFs.
That's wrong on multiple levels.
I will
God.
but I
continue
know
to
what you're
make this
saying.
mistake.
They only animated the body, the head, and the tail, or whatever.
They did.
So it's
They
like
did.
Well, the
even
little
in
claw.
the yeah.
That is true. They only animated pieces of it. It created the illusion that you were fighting something bigger than you were. But for 1991, it looked great. Like, it looked cool.
I thought
In my opinion, for the time, it looked really cool.
I thought it was cool, and it reminded me of like a kid's play where they hold the cardboard stuff just off stage behind the curtains.
Yeah,
And it's like,
kind
oh, giant dragon hand, and it's obviously cardboard worked by a child.
Kind of.
A little bit.
But let me tell you, as a child, because in 1990, I'm going to date myself. Nah, you guys know how old we fucking are. In 94, I think I was like 8 years old. And when it came out for the Super Nintendo, when I was 8, this game, because I played so many fantasy RPGs like Final Fantasy and stuff like that, this game filled in the gaps for so many things that I had to imagine playing still role-playing games. Just turn-based still images of things just pretending to hit each other. When I saw that I could gain new weapons, my little mind was blown. When I saw that dragon moving on screen with multiple moving parts, it blew my mind. When I fought the Hydra with multiple heads, or the Minotaurs, or the Cyclopses, and they all had all their, different unique movesets, it all blew my mind. For the time, I thought this game kicked ass.
That's true. And you always got to measure games by the time you got them. So, like, yeah, as a kid and where the technology was, this was fucking AAA top tier. And it kind of felt that way for me because even modern day, we had a blast. You know, I can't imagine how much fun you would have back then when this was like the shit.
That is really true. Any game that's 30 years old, and then you can still have fun with like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big merit to its game design, and at least the things that they put into the game to help you have fun while you're playing it.
And it's an underdog because from what you were saying, it didn't have any star power. Like I don't know it.
No,
JB don't know it. Does interns, do you know it?
I would, please message us and know if you've heard of this game and played it before. Because I feel like in my entire life, when I bring this game up, everyone's like, what the hell is that game?
It's a Berenstain Bears game.
Kind of.
The Mandela.
Right. That's the dollar bin in 1991. They were like, hey, you want to play King of Dragons?
And you're like, no, what is that? What is that? Where's my Mario?
You just play King of Dragons, you just fight a dragon.
No, where's Mario? Does Mario fight a dragon?
Wait, who ended up being the king of dragons? Was it
us?
Oh, it's Gildas, the red dragon that you fight. You're going to fight the king of dragons. You don't become the king of
well,
dragons.
no, but he is.
Is it not like Highlander? Like you kill him and you become the king
you
of
don't
dragons?
Become.
But he is the dragon who's the king of him.
No, the dragon is the king of the other dragons.
Why don't they just
you
call
have
it,
to be.
He's
It's
the
like
king of the other dragons.
why don't they call it Dragon King of the Dragons?
it's like the U.S. president. You don't call it the human U.S. president.
You
Like,
don't
they
call
do
him the
have to be
president of
human.
humans either. You just call him the goddamn president.
He's
Yeah,
the goddamn president.
you have to
He's
be
the
human.
dragon king.
and you
Should've
have to
been
be
Dragon
king of the
King.
US, but should have been the Dragon King.
But anyway, for all of this game's merit, and as much as I loved it as a kid, this piece of shit doesn't even hold a candle to some of the games we're about to talk about, baby, if that gets you excited.
Hell yeah!
Next on the roster, get the hell out of here, Capcom, because Sega's back, baby. You thought we weren't going to talk about Golden Axe?
Sega
Hell
never
yeah, we're going to
left.
talk about Golden Axe.
Hell yeah! Sega's back at it again with the white
Hell yeah.
fans.
Coming from 1992, we all know about Golden Axe 1, 2, and 3. But have you ever heard of Golden Axe, The Revenge of Death Adder?
Revengeance?
No,
It's the
not
Revengeance.
Revengeance.
It's Golden Axe Revengeance, baby.
Oh Jesus, fuck!
Now, this kick-ass piece of video game history is actually one of those. It's rare. It's kind of hard to call games rare nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But this, because of all the re-releases and ports and all that stuff, but Golden Axe Revenge of Death Adder, not only do not a lot of people know about this rendition of it, this thing was not ever released again. It was a cabinet in 1992. Okay, I take it back. Save. They didn't put it on any console. It's not a part of any package or beat 'em up collection or anything like that. They did in 2020 include it in one of those, those weird little mini arcades you can buy at Walmart and Best Buy now?
Yeah.
They put it on one of those.
Oh,
Okay.
That's it. That's the only way to play it legit, is if you bought one of those Golden Axe re-releases in like 2020 on those little mini arcades.
Yeah.
But the Revenge of Death Adder improves the Fantasy Brawler and the Golden Axe lineage, in my opinion, every single way. As not only is the bad guy Death Adder back at it for another one, this game is powered up by the Power 32-bit board, baby.
Oh.
We're out of 16-bit already, and we're into 32-bit for the rest of this episode.
Divisible by 8? 4 times
Hell
over?
yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Not only does it include better graphics and better sound, it also includes kick-ass things like moves and combos and synergy stuff and cool magic and bug mounts and 4 players! It includes everything that you want in a fantasy brawler, dude. And we actually had to fight pretty hard to be able to play this game.
yeah. We had to track down an arcade cabinet in
That's
western
right.
Oklahoma and travel
right.
there specifically for this podcast.
That's right. Thanks, Nutrageous King. So, let's jump into this. I want to hear your guys' opinions on it. Because you heard me, I started with the King of Dragons. I lamented over the game. How did you guys feel about this version of Golden Axe?
Golden Axe is in like everyone has a subset of nostalgic games that they have that like are fond. Golden Axe is one of them. It is right up there. And so this one, it was fun to see some of the characters. I freaked out when I saw the little, I don't know what they are, fish ball monsters with tails. Do you know what the little purple guys?
Like the mer peoples?
Wait,
fish ball monsters. You mean the little...
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Those
the
guys.
chicken, the drumstick, the
beak-
chicken
Yeah.
drumstick monsters.
Drumstick, like those guys were in it. You couldn't actually ride them; they weren't a mount. This game had a weird thing with all the mounts were bug mounts.
Mm-hmm.
That was an interesting thing about it. It took away all the cool like dragon mounts and things like that.
Yeah.
No, save for some. No, not all of them.
Well, okay,
But yeah, most of the mounts were bugs for
Yeah.
some reason.
which when I think
Scorpions,
fantasy, I'm like
yeah.
a fantasy scorpion, a praying mantis. Yes, fantasy, the high fantasy. So that I'm gonna say it bugged me a bit. Okay.
Yeah.
gonna say
Dang. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, like literally picture creatures that you can jump on top, like you're mounting it, like a horse. This game included that. There were creatures, like combat creatures that you could mount with their own moveset. Like there's praying mantises that breathe fire for some reason. I don't get it. There's scorpions that like have electricity stingers. It doesn't matter. That doesn't mean anything. But they're in there. And it adds this cool, weird flavor to Golden Axe that wasn't really present, at least in bug form,
It was,
in the previous
and it was
ones.
definitely cool for an arcade, like having 4 people line up around this thing. Like if your choices were the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Simpsons game and this one, I'd be like, this one's good. Let's do this one. I'd definitely choose it.
Yeah, it's the more adult version.
Oh yeah.
Only for hardcore gamers.
Oh, hell yeah. We're not swinging vacuum cleaners, Marge Simpson. We're on electricity scorpions. But seriously, I think this took... Well, basically, Sega saw that. Sega saw Capcom's clapback at Golden Axe, and they said, not so fast. Not so fast. We're going to improve our brand again in every way, because it brought all that juicy goodness that the King of Dragons brought you, but it also included really cool combos. You're not just swinging one sword over and over and over. You actually have combo moves. There's jumping moves. There's jump attacks.
Yeah.
There's the AB mash 'em ups. There's these really cool combo move too that when you stagger an enemy and if you guys
Oh
all
my
like start
God.
ganging them up, and it was so exciting. Dare I say, for the young kids listening, hype.
Yeah,
And,
a 3-person suplex
Oh, yeah.
on the boss that takes half his life. It is so strong. It feels so good. Every time we did it, we felt like champions. It was great.
The weirdest thing is it created this coordination that doesn't normally exist in these co-op, brawlers, is where you're just bashing. Everybody's on their own bashing. But when you stun the boss, you're like, okay, you're over there, get around him, and go! And you launch into the air, spin around, and smash him down. And it created like this really cool teamwork thing that didn't exist.
Yeah, it did that better than the other games too, I would
It
say,
did.
because like even with
Absolutely.
the powers, we had the you were playing the little halfling dude who had apple magic. Jake.
Oh, I was okay. So let's say who we played, because people familiar with Golden Axe, save for a little like it's almost an Easter egg. It was a completely new set of characters. I was playing a little baby Goku looking farmer man named Trixie, and for the most of the other one, who was playing Master Blaster?
What?
The two guys in one.
Oh, that was
Who- who's
me.
play-
So I played
Okay.
the Goliath, right?
His name was Goa.
Yeah.
And dude, I found out who the little guy on his back was. It's Gillis. It's the dwarf from Golden Axe 1.
Yep.
Oh,
I
yeah.
recognized that right away
Yeah.
because he
The
had the
original dwarf.
same axe. Yep. Yeah, it was really cool because you're playing in my headcanon. You're playing as Gillis, the dwarf, and you are controlling Goa, the Goliath, Ratatouille style from his hair.
Yeah, we had a
Yes,
big
dude.
philosophical debate.
Oh, while we were playing, yeah, we were trying to figure out the mechanics of that for sure. It I didn't catch the name of it, but for the most part, Cowboy played the centaur.
I played the
Yeah.
centaur lady. Her name was Centauria.
Sure.
Is it?
No.
We don't know. We forget. But anyway, a literal centaur. Like every other character in all these games, you play it and you're a person. But this game, with its weird bug mounts and everything, decided to go outside the box and give you one of the playable characters is a literal centaur lady.
But is she though? Because she's more like a mer centaur.
Oh, she's a land mermaid.
Oh, yeah.
She's a
land
land
mermaid
mermaid.
is what you called her.
Because when you mount up, what happens, Cowboy?
You reverse aerial and her fucking feet come back. And
Yeah.
she does this like awkward side mount too. She's got this really dumb face on. I hated it. I avoided the mounts because I just didn't like what I was seeing.
Because you're your own mount anyway.
You're your own mount. I've always said that.
You're your own mount. And I also want to point out, Like all the games, they have their magic attacks, but Sega said, nah, we're doing it better. And all of your magic attacks, they're more unique for one. Like JB was saying, my guy wasn't even an attack. I was Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah.
When I would throw my magic, it would actually create trees with apples, and you could heal yourself with them. But I thought the offensive attacks were fucking metal in this game more than anything.
Mine was a skeleton hotboxing the entire room. With with this weed smoke, bro.
That's what it really was.
Fucking blunt life, yo. And the barbarian, which Cowboy played around with too, the barbarian's magical attack.
Oh, the animation.
It was fucking face melting fire. And if you KO'd an enemy with it, you got to see their face melt.
You got a little cutscene, like the fire would roll across, then suddenly it would put his picture up, and you'd get to see, like, the Indiana Jones face melting.
Ark of the Covenant. Yep.
Ark of the Covenant. Face melt right off there, and then he would die. And all sorts of stuff. People turned to stone on certain attacks and fell off ledges. Like, there's a lot of cool dynamics to that.
Yeah, that shit was metal.
I would contest one thing, is I don't think the animations for the magic was cooler, but I don't think the magic was cooler than the original, because in the original, at least on the mode I played, you could use like 8 different magic attacks per person. Like you would use
there were levels, right?
There were levels. And so if you'd get up to level 8 magic, you would use level 8 magic and it would do it, but then you would be down to 7 and you could do level 7. You could just like go ham on the screen with just dropping tons of stuff. So, and I loved that as a kid. Like, I loved the overwhelming power. So, I missed it.
That is neat. It is neat, but I would say I feel like sometimes if it gives you too much magic and too much power, it might take away from the experience.
I was a kid. I wanted power fantasies.
That is true. I get it. I get it. I get it. But I think it's safe to say that the three of us, when we found Golden Axe: The Revenge of Death Adder, like, we had a fucking blast playing it.
We did. Yeah.
Like, on another level, I think, I'm going to say it right now, sorry to spoil the last one, but I think this was the only one where we were like, hell yeah, while we were playing it. Mm-hmm. It was super fucking cool. And if you guys can go to eastern Oklahoma,
in a very particular gas station,
go to southeastern Oklahoma to a particular gas station in Atoka, and put in about $35 worth of money, you too will be able to play Golden Axe: Revenge of Death Adder, and I highly recommend it, man. Find a way to play this. If you like brawlers at all, which all of us do, there's brawlers coming out today that are amazing. Find this one, because I think this one's a gem, dude. Like, it just did a lot right, I think.
It finally nailed all the stuff the other games were missing. It took everything good and put it in one. And like you were saying, the combos, there's this neat combo where if you stun the enemy, she puts up her hind legs, the centaurus, and she just horse kicks the shit out of their face for like a good 4 seconds. And I loved every moment of it. Just whap, 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 with just hooves of fury. It was good.
Yeah. And I mean, for as much as we say that's really cool about The Revenge of Death Adder, it doesn't hold a fucking candle, baby, to what Capcom did in 1996. We're talking about Dungeons and Dragons Shadow over Mystara. That's right, a legit D&D tie-in to a retro fantasy brawler. No generic enemies, no bullshit. We're talking real stuff.
Legit.
We're talking
monster
gnolls
manual.
and goblins and owlbears and beholders. That's right. All that cool shit was brought by Capcom as the final clapback of tonight in the retro fantasy beat 'em up. And we're not going to talk about Tower of Doom, which is actually the first one in this series, because everyone said it sucks, so we didn't play it. So, Shadow over Mystara took everything that these games did, took everything and said, we're going to do more of it. We're going to do more of it. Not only is there a cool leveling system, sure, the characters level up and they get more powerful. You can equip items, actual items. There's an actual equipment. Like, we're talking helmets and boots and stuff like that in a brawler. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
There's an actual item wheel. What brawler has an item wheel? You pull up goddamn items and you can use them. You can use the wands. You can use cool magic potions and stuff. That's wild for a brawler. Not, least of all, I don't know why I said not to mention that this game includes the most varied and advanced magic system
Sure. Yep.
in like any brawler that I've ever seen. On top of cool combos for a wider range of characters that you can choose.
Yeah, I mean, when I heard we were doing a D&D arcade beat 'em up, it was worth it. We traveled all the way to northwestern Oklahoma, and we
In the
found
Northwest, yeah.
this underground dojo that had this in the back in the storage closet, and they let us play until about 2 a.m., and it was worth every penny to have all the classic items, spells. There was names that I was catching ripped straight from the handbook, straight from the monster manual. And like you said, the item wheel, it was kind of complex. Like, it was unexpected. At first, we undersold it, and then we went through it. We're like, oh, there's multiple pages. You can actually scroll through on some of these guys. Like,
and that's something I wanted to mention, not just about this game, but all of them in general. But this is the one that really sold it, is that it's very intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of games that we played around this generation, like in the 90s, were very difficult to play because you just had no idea what to do or how to do it or all the special moves you can do. But this one, in a short like hour and a half that we played and beat it, we learned everything we needed to do. We learned how to traverse through the menus and equip the different weapons and items and use the shop and use the magic and how to defeat the enemies. It was a very intuitive game, which I thought was really good.
Yeah, and not only that, but there was, the earlier ones we played, some of the stories were like, hey, I'm the princess, monsters, castle, go get them. But this one was an actual story. The guys who did D&D, they brought story and life to this, And I thought that was neat.
Actual story.
Yeah,
dude. Actual story. And not only that, you got to make choices. For an arcade game to actually stop the game and say, hey, guys, what choice do you want to make? Are you going to save them or you're not? Are you going to go to the pier or the castle?
Yeah, a little
Things
choose
like
your own adventure bit.
Yes, and it kicked ass. And there were even choices that sent you to a little gnome village where you're not even fighting. You're just walking around and hanging out. I've never had an arcade game give you the time to just enjoy yourself for a little bit.
Well, yeah, and that wasn't a combat section. That was a social section, kind of how you do in D&D. They're like, hey, these guys might have some information. And I think you pointed out that one of them that we talked to might have clued us into hidden stuff in the game or a secret or loot.
Yeah, they were dropping hints to just special things in the game that I guess you could uncover.
Yeah, a special weapon that existed. Yeah,
that's above and beyond.
And to set the stage, because that might be basic for a lot of games nowadays, but you gotta base it off of the time period it was in. Because when we played, say, Revenge of Death Adder, literally the first village we went to was called Enemy's Village.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind when you have towns and settings and all of these things. It wasn't normal for this time period to have that stuff.
Yeah.
No, especially in this medium, in a brawler.
And they used not even proper nouns. The princess, the king. It's did they not have names back then? Did they lose them?
Names did not exist.
Can 8-bit not run names? Is that too much? Put a fucking name in there. Nah, the king.
Yeah, you're right, because you weren't fighting or saving nameless people. The main bad guy, it's a sorceress. It's a lady named Sin, and there was a bird person that looked a lot like Yesman.
Yesman was there.
Yesman. Actually,
Yesman,
you know what?
Is immortal, and that was him.
I think Yesman may have just guest starred in this game.
Yeah,
it really could have been.
Oh my god!
Do we know Yesman's actual game?
He's never told us. Every time I try to talk to him, I throw up in my mouth a little bit. So I don't really know. I don't really know. I don't know. It could be. He could come from garbage. But anyway, it's
an old thrown away ET cartridge.
He's E.T.
He's E.T.
He's the E.T. from E.T.
Fucking sucks, dude.
Oh no! He fucking sucks, dude.
to suck.
But anyway, Shadow over Mystara took everything and made it more. And I want to talk about the magic system more too, because there were magic classes. There was a wizard, an elf, and a cleric. The cleric had healing spells and spells unique to him, and the elf and wizard shared a lot of magic, but they also used a D&D system. You had oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting the terminology.
It was kind of like
points.
spell
You had
slots.
like spell points.
Yeah.
Slots. Thank you. You had spell slots because you could cast them a certain amount of times, and certain spells were more powerful. And then there was even a separate wheel for more cantrippy spells like magic missile.
They had motherfucking magic missile.
They had magic missile and wall of flame and things like that. Like they had classic D&D magic.
Yeah. They also had the fart of doom, which you loved.
The fart of doom. Oh my god, I used it so much. And okay, you can't even hide what it is because you fly into the air and all this green mist starts flying out of your nethers, and it's even going. That's
the noise it makes
while you're doing it. Is the fart of mist. I do want to say though, as cool as the magic is. And it is much as they developed it to be like D&D accurate, I do think it's kind of a pain point, at least for me.
Yeah.
Because for as cool as this game is, and as intricate as everything you can do in it, I feel like the game can be reduced to just throwing a bunch of spells and wiping the boss and doing it all over again. I think the spells were so powerful that it actually took away from everything else about the game.
And not only were the spells super powerful, but you had so many of them that it would just you'd just be sitting there for like 2 minutes while somebody cast every single one of their spells on the boss, and then the next person would cast all their spells on the boss, and then the next person.
It was one of the ones that froze the screen, and I played a melee character, so I didn't have spells. So I basically would just sit around and just watch them like, you guys are doing good. I'll be over here. Let me know when you're done.
Yeah.
Fucking conjuring the infinite magics of the universe. And I'll smack them with my sword.
Yeah, dude. If you were playing with a bunch of spellcasters and you were not having a good time.
Nope.
You were just sitting and waiting a lot, which I think is so unfortunate for how cool this game is and what they did with it.
Yeah, I think they should have maybe slowed down time or taken that out, because I can't even imagine with 4 people. It's a long time. You're waiting like 30 seconds to drop the whole load.
Yeah, the whole game would come to a standstill as everyone just took turns throwing magic until everything died.
But other than that, for the melee character, there was a shop where I ended up buying a fuck ton of hammers, and like classic D&D. I misused weapons just for fun, and I just kept chucking hammers.
The hammers
my role
were
was
OP.
just to throw hammers like a fucking.
That was your spell.
Yeah.
We were summoning djinns and ice dragons, and you were like, "Well, I got all these hammers."
And
the thing is, when you throw the hammer, it bounces off of every head it sees and stuns the enemies.
Yep.
Like, it was so strong.
And I literally bought max capacity. I had an infinite supply. I had so much money because the mages don't move; they stand still and cast magic. So I ran around gathering up all the money.
Yeah, you did have all the money. If we're being honest,
you really did. I don't even know how you had all the money. You always did. Like, so yeah, there is a shop system too. After like every major section, you actually come to a shop and you can spend money that you earned in the level, the stuff you were picking up, and buy stuff and buy items. And you could actually heal up here also. There were like mana potions or health potions to buy and heal yourself up. I never had a cent. I would walk up destitute.
Yep. With just to set the stage, the entire game we played, I was only able to buy one thing, and it was health potions, and I only bought them one time. Like, that's how little money I had. Like, Cowboy had all the money.
Which is inadvertently a lot like D&D, where one of the asshole players, me in this case, will hoard all the money for no good reason.
They'll hold all the money, yeah. And he walked away with 700 hammers while we went hungry.
I think he was just mad because he didn't get to be the king of the dragons in the last one, so he had to make his hoard in this one.
I did, yeah.
Speaking of King of Dragons, for tonight's swan song of Fantasy Brawlers, Shadows over Mystara also concludes with a badass red dragon fight.
Hell yeah, it does.
Gotta.
Yeah.
It's a red dragon.
And it's improved in every way, I think, as well. There's still just the usual places to hit, but this red dragon had so many more abilities. It was jumping around. It was like this fully realized creature that we were fighting, and it beat our asses at the end too.
Yeah, and I want to say one interesting thing that you will not see coming is that D&D guys handed this over to the Japanese studio Capcom, and they ran with it because it was very anime. It had little anime character scenes when it told you how much experience you got. They had crazy cool stylistic anime poses, not like D&D, because D&D is very medieval and stand still and hold your trident.
Right.
These were like cool these were stylized, and even the characters just looked ripped out of an anime. I thought it was interesting. Anime D&D.
It was really cool. Like when the wizard leveled up, he looked like the greatest anime protagonist. Like the lean back pose and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that red dragon, I mean, it coined the phrase, no pun intended, quarter eater. We mentioned that a lot while we were playing all through these games, and I think this one really cemented that because certain bosses just ate quarters like crazy. Because you got to remember, we were in Kanye, South Northern Oklahoma, and we were playing all of these different arcade games. So we had to bring our money sack with the money sign on it, full of quarters to play these.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
You'd be surprised how much this cost.
Yeah, so we took our tally, and we're going to give you some numbers adjusted for inflation, too.
Oh, yeah.
So,
We got
the
the spreadsheet.
cheapest, excluding original Golden Axe, tonight we're going to talk about the numbers of the King of Dragons, Golden Axe, fucking Death Adder's Revenge. Why did I get it wrong? The Revenge of Death Adder. And Golden Axe Revengeance, and Dungeons & Dragons Shadow over Mystara. So coming in last place, in first place in our heart because it was the cheapest to play, was the King of Dragons. So in the year it was released, we would have only spent $9.50 between the three of us to play it from beginning to end, which is a pretty good deal. Adjusted for inflation, $20. And that's cheaper than some stuff that you'll buy and play for 2 hours and hate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
3 people having fun on $20 for the day. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I'd say worth it.
Yeah, not so bad. Coming in second place, you guessed it, or not, who knows? It's actually Dungeons & Dragons Shadow over Mystara. So, back in 1996 money, we paid $16 to play it. Adjusted for today, we're talking $34.
Well worth it, because
That's like a high-priced indie game.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I mean, we paid as much for Stray, right?
And it had the most to it. We're paying for the extra content.
That is absolutely true. But tonight's Fat Sack coming in at $24.
The biggest red dragon.
In retro 90s money, adjusted for inflation, at $52 spent at an arcade, was Golden Axe Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, the Revenge of Death Adder, at $52. So in 1992, the three of us rolled up with our fat money sack and dumped $52 worth of quarters into this arcade to play it from beginning to end. Yeah, in my opinion, it was the most fun, but is that a high price to pay for this game?
Kinda.
Yes. I think so. I think so too. Yeah. Honestly, I think so.
And you have to remember, most arcade cabinets back in the day were 25 cents a credit. This one required, when we went to it, required 2 credits.
That's actually true, yeah.
But we adjusted it to make it even. So potentially we could have spent, if it was a capitalist arcade, we could have spent $104 to play this game.
Even by today's standards, no thank you. It was not that
No,
good.
Absolutely not. No, if this was a 2-quarter game per life, this would be predatory as hell at $104.
Yep, the original pay to win. You think that's that's made today? No. That's been around since
the original microtransaction.
Yeah.
Y'all don't even know.
You don't
We've
even
been dealing
know
with this stuff since the 90s. Come on now.
They just made it more shiny nowadays.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that you've taken a cool little trip through the late 80s and 90s with us on this cool arcade romp, which we had a lot of fun doing, actually.
Oh, yeah.
This was actually a super fun episode for us to do. Let's go ahead. I mean, let's figure it out. What's your guys' favorite games, man? Which one do you think was the funnest, the bestest? Like, what's your favorite, man?
Even though it doesn't exist, I would say Golden Axe Revengeance. I think that was the out of all of them when I played it was just the best.
Me too. It was the most fun. As expensive as it was to play, it really was the most fun.
I would disagree. I would completely disagree. I think the Dungeons and Dragons. I know Golden Axe used to be my little fan fave, but I am such a fan of D&D, and this was such a good version.
It is really good.
It is.
It is really good.
I think we had the most fun on this. I'm going to say, if you look in your hearts, you guys know that this is the one we had the most fun on.
I think we were having the most fun until we realized we could stall it out with magic. Once we realized that, I think it took a little steam out of it.
That's
but
true.
before we realized that we could totally level this game with that, we were having a lot of fun with this. And honestly, we had a lot of fun with all of them. All of these games were a lot of fun to play.
I don't regret playing any of these. They were
No,
well
not at
worth
all.
it.
Yeah, especially in an era, a landscape devoid of next to each other couch co-op. It was refreshing to be back to these things and be in Midwestern, Northwestern Oklahoma and be able to play this with you guys. So I had a great time.
Hey dumb human, say what?
Huh?
Okay. What's up, Ann?
You still said it. Anyways, I finally found where the tubes took that stupid egg.
You mean the fallopian tubes?
What?
Get it?
Yes. Stop
It's a
calling
joke
it
for all
that.
the ladies out there.
Ugh. All right. Where's the egg, Ann?
It went straight to HR's office.
Terry has it?
Oh, well, I mean, sweet. Terry knows us, and he'll definitely help us keep it secret. Ann, can you call Terry up for us?
I have no interest in conversing with that slow-mouthed meat sack.
No, so we can talk to him.
I know. I just want it on record.
Terry, head of HR, how can I make your day art?
Hi, Terry. It's the podcasters. Did you happen to get an egg today?
Why, yes. In fact, it popped right out of the fallopian tubes and into my lap.
See, I told you it was a good joke.
Man.
It was quite the surprise gift. Very lovely. I was actually just about
Terry,
to...
don't eat it. It's not that kind of egg.
Well, of course it's not. I know exactly what kind of egg it is.
Oh, you do?
Yes, it's obviously a sex egg.
What now?
It's a Chinese sex egg. It's used to enhance the stimulation. I can tell because of the exquisite texture. You see, if you really look at it, you can see this one was handmade.
Okay, all right. Terry, look, we need to get that back, man.
Oh, dear. But I've become so fond of it. Well, I suppose I could part with it for a favor.
Favor?
Yes, well, there's this big cosplay party hosted by my Discord friends this weekend, and I'm short a partner. I'd like one of you to dress up with me and be the Sonic to my Knuckles.
Oh, well, that's not so bad. I guess I could do it.
Yeah, wait until you see the costume. Even I blushed.
Oh.
Okay, cool, Terry. Well, JB's all yours, and we'll be by later to retrieve the egg.
Oh, no worries. Take all the time you need.
Hang up, Jake. Hang up.
I don't even want to know what that costume is.
Well, I guess that's done. Jeez.
Oh, jeez, I'm starving.
I heard that.
I told you forgot to order lunch.
But I didn't. I think.
Oh boy, what a day. Let me tell you, there are a lot of rodents in the wall at GameCorp. Like a little army amount. Oh, and JB, Ratass says hello.
I told you he could talk.
Yes, but his accent is atrocious. Anyways, I'm here for the egg.
Well, we sorta lost the egg.
You what?
But we know Terry has it now, and he's keeping it safe.
Oh, well, I guess that's okay. Well, what about the sunglasses, guys?
We haven't seen him, so maybe he's gone.
Think again, fucko.
Ah, shit.
Oh, no.
That always happens.
I had to pull a few strings, cash in a few lifelong favors with the cyber police, but I finally got a name and a face.
Uh-oh.
That's right. I finally found you, and it's time you get what's coming to you.
Well, I was thinking, you'll never take me alive! Ah!
Oh, my
Oh.
God.
God damn, why? There was already a broken window.
Jesus, what's his problem? Anyways, like I was saying, I finally found you. JB.
What? Me? What did I do?
Well, let's just see here. JB, 1 count chicken teriyaki, 2 count Mongolian beef, 3 counts wonton tacos, 4 counts rice balls, 3 count medium soda, and a single small egg roll.
What? But that stuff's not illegal. I literally just ordered it today from the new Chinese place. The something. I forgot what it's called.
Oh my God.
What?
The Red Dragon?
Yeah. Oh.
Thought you could order and ditch, huh? Well, like I said, I take my job very seriously, and I never fail to deliver.
So you deliver food?
Affirmative.
Oh, Jesus, dude. We thought you worked for the CIA or something.
I do.
What?
But I do this part-time because of budget cuts. Plus, it's a great way to meet people. My wife says I'm a bit too closed off.
Wait, but why were you tracking the egg then?
Egg, I was tracking your phone. Right until you peed on it anyway. Pretty genius move. The alkaline in the urine disrupted the GPS tracking.
Oh. So how much do I owe you?
$31.42. Plus tip.
All right. Here. Keep the change.
Well, that's how this episode ended. As always, I'd like to thank Metroid Mike for the use of our theme song, I Can't Break, off of the album Heart of the Juggernaut. Buy it on Bandcamp. Listen to it on Spotify. Every single donation he receives feeds his baby one whole chicken, and his baby needs 10 chickens a day to survive, or he grows into a giant Newtonian monster who shoots laser beams. That's what he tells me. And always thanks to Inky Danny for the artwork. It's amazing. You see it every time you look at our beautiful podcast. Follow them all on their respective social medias. They love to hear from you. And that's all I say.
And thank you so much for answering our questions on Discord and Twitter and Spotify and all the places we posted. But remember, we also want to hear from you. You can ask us questions. You can go on Spotify. You can leave us voice messages. You can send us tweets through the tweeter. You can go on our Discord and meet all of the people we talk about, including Metroid Mike and Inky Danny. They're famous and they're on our Discord. Jealous much? You should be. And also, while you're checking out our Twitters and our Instagrams, why don't you give us a follow and participate in our GameCorp, the little world we're building?
Hell yeah.
And I, Cowboy, only me, they don't want to do it, but I want to thank you all so much for listening. If you feel like this unbalances the universe and you want us to listen to you, why don't you come by and hop into our Twitch and our Discord? We stream games on Twitch and have events like the one you heard with the listener questions where we get naked. And all the good, funniest, best people are in the Discord, and you're in it too, as of right now. Join it. And then, when you're done doing that, you do the one last thing I need you to do, which is get the fuck out of here.
Good night, everybody!
Good night.
Or morning.
It was pretty good.
All right. All right, so we're live. Be yourselves, be fun. Have fun, be fun. Here we go. Diddle, little, little. Hello. Damn it. Hello. Okay, got it. I always get caught up because I go to say it and I never remember the cadence. Here we go.
I know, and you always start as Oprah.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, maybe I should just be varied with it. Oh, hello. Maybe not that, though. Hello! Oh, here we go. Okay.
Oh, hi.
Hello and welcome to GameCorp, the best pod. Yeah, it's good. You're going to love it. Here we go. Marker. Hello and welcome to GameCorp, where we cough. We cough all the time. He's a coughing asshole. Here we go.